Hello there, you're watching Bizworld. I'm Azaria Tagaya. Moody's Investor Service sees increased fiscal challenges in Malaysia with the abolishment of the Goods and Services Tax (GST) and introduction of the Sales and Services Tax (SST). Sovereign Risk Group Vice President and Senior Analyst Anushka Shah said the GST abolishment in favour of a narrower SST would shrink the government's tax base. With the release of Moody's report titled Sovereign's Asia Pacific 2019 Outlook, she said in general, the government's focus on supporting growth and incomes of poorer households is a factor behind a slower fiscal consolidation path than previously projected. Shah also said should the government prioritise growth and provisions to low-income households further, Malaysia's fiscal strength would weaken. Meanwhile, commenting on slower growth in China, she said Australia, Indonesia and Malaysia would mainly be exposed should weaker Chinese demand lower prices globally. Moody's forecasts median gross domestic product growth rates of 5.5% and 5.2% in 2019 for Asia-Pacific, emerging and frontier market economies respectively, while growth in the advanced economies would likely slow to 2.5%. Malaysian Industrial Development Finance Berhad MIDF has received the green light from Bank Negara Malaysia BNM to proceed with negotiations on a proposed merger with Al Rajhi Banking and Investment Corporation Malaysia Berhad. MIDF said BNM has issued a letter stating it had no objections for MIDF and its sole shareholder, Pemodalan Nasional Berhad PNB, to commence negotiations with Al Rajhi Banking and Investment Corporation, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Al Rajhi KSA, on the merger. The negotiations, it said, must be completed within 3 months from the date of the letter issued by the central bank. MIDF said if an agreement is reached, it would also be subjected to various conditions, including all relevant legal requirements and the approval of all regulatory authorities in both Malaysia and Saudi Arabia. It added further announcements on the proposed merger will be made at the appropriate time as negotiation progress, and in the meantime, business will continue as usual. Fuji Xerox and the Ministry of Entrepreneur Development are committed to promote the adoption of digital economy among Malaysian companies, especially the small and medium enterprises (SMEs). The company is looking forward for a long-term collaboration with the government to prepare the local SMEs with digitalization skills in facing the Industry Revolution 4.0 challenges.
This is, what we are seeking forward. So I think, just now Dato' Suri is also mentioned about the database. So we will also rely on that, to actively engage the SME sectors, all those, and introduce our solutions to them.
He was speaking at the launch of Smart Work Gateway for Digital Transformation Concepts in line with the introduction of Fuji Xerox's 14 new models of digital colour multifunction printers today. The event was officiated by Entrepreneur Development Minister Datuk Sri Mohammad Rizwan Yusof. The government welcomes industry leaders in structured programs that can help SMEs to become digitalised and not merely computerised, so as to remain competitive in the industry. The Malayan Commercial Banks Association (MCBA) has announced that some 20,000 bank employees will receive salary adjustments of 10 to 12%. Under a new collective agreement signed by MCBA and the National Union of Bank Employees (NUBE), clerical and non-clerical staff from 20 banks will receive the adjustment by month's end.
We are 20 banks, so I cannot speak for all the banks, right? But in our previous track record, most banks, if not all, will endeavour to make that payment this month, including Maybank.
The signing of the agreement for the period of January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2020 was witnessed by Human Resources Minister M. Kulasegaran. Apart from the salary adjustment, the starting salary for different employee groups will be raised by 12 to 16%, with the maximum salary raised by 16%. The agreement will also see the cost of living allowance for bank employees raised from 400 to 600 ringgit effective January 1st, 2019. All member banks have also agreed to grant a staff housing loan with 0% interest rate for the first 100,000 ringgit beginning April 1st, 2019. And with that, we've come to the end of Bizworld. I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thanks for investing your time with us.